Hey everybody, it's Abby. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. If you are new, this is going to be a weird one for you to watch, like, first. So if you don't want to really hear about this, then maybe go check out some of my other videos. But basically, what's going to happen is I'm going to be posting a little bit less, and I'm going to kind of explain that, why it's going to be like a life update kind of thing. So I have been for the past, gosh, since October, November, December, January, February, March, like 5 to 6 months. I've been posting 5 days a week, which hasn't really been a problem. I don't know how loud I'm talking because my ear's been ringing all day. But I'm going to start posting every, 3 days a week. So I'm thinking now Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but I might change it to like Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. We'll see how it goes. But I've just been a little more occupied with other things. I'm sure you can probably see here in the background all this stuff. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, or if you haven't seen my description box, I do have a business where I sell crochet things. Up until now, or up until recently, that's been a kind of a side thing that I really just do for like friends and family. I've had a few people that I don't know buy from my Etsy shop, but I'm just kind of not really taking it serious, and I just, every now and then I'll get like this urge to want to go farther with it, and I just kind of ignore it because I'm like, well, I don't know anything about, like, I don't want to get into the realm of having to, make it official, like paying, self-employed taxes, doing all that kind of stuff. I was like, I don't know about all that. It's too hard. Like, and I struggled forever with making a logo for it, so my logo has changed quite a few times. And I originally did it as a street crochet, which I don't know why I picked that. I didn't really like it even from the beginning, but I was like, that's the best I've got. I mean, everything that I thought of was already taken, and I don't know, it didn't really fit, and it came kind of as a weird name, and I didn't want to put crochet in it because most people don't even know the difference between knit and crochet anyways. So, and like A Street doesn't even have any significance. Like A is like for Abby, and like I don't even know why. Yeah. So I just kind of let it fizzle out. I got a few orders here and there. I made a few projects for people that I know, and I just kind of let my yarn sit. Like, I had a bit before, and then if you want to see how I did that at my old house when I was in Maryland, I did a video organizing my craft supplies, and I showed how I had it. I had it on one of those wire, like, adjustable shelves, and had it all stacked in there. Right now it's all in these tote bags and in those boxes. I actually have a couple more boxes in my car. I need to put some more stuff in. But over the past, I don't know, week or so, I've like really been in gear getting stuff done. Like today, my mom helped me apply for an EIN, and like kind of like a tax ID number for a business so you can file your taxes and all that stuff. And then I need to take that to the bank so I can get a business like checking account to just kind of keep everything separate from my personal stuff, And I ordered business cards, made a new logo that I actually like. It's for cruelty-free stitchery. That's the name of my business. I didn't mention that earlier, but I just think that it kind of encompasses what I do, because I don't use wool-based yarn. I just use acrylic, cotton, polyester, that kind of thing. I don't use any animal-derived ingredients because I am a vegan. So that and the word stitchery, would allow me to expand into other things in the future. So like if I want to try knitting, then I could do that in the future. Or if I want to, if it grows and I can get to the place where I can hire someone to help me, that maybe I can hire someone who knits, so that way, like, I could do the crochet stuff and they could do the knitting or whatever, or if I could hire somebody else that crochets. because it's going to be a lot for me. Like, I am focusing right now on blankets and scarves. I'm thinking about doing, like, I'll have my set, like my core blanket designs, and then I'll have maybe scarves that can kind of be like in the same style, I guess. I don't know. I haven't worked all that out yet. I'm still trying to get like my core products line, because I don't want to be all over the place. Before, I was just kind of making whatever I felt like, and it just wasn't working, because that's like, it takes a lot more time when you're doing an online business if you're selling a bunch of random different stuff than if you have the same, like you make the same 5 or 10 items over and over again, because each individual item you have to photograph, you have to write up a description. It's just going to be easier if I have a set number, or even a set, I don't know, kind of fluctuate between how many I have. And then I also want to do craft fairs, so I will probably, like, if I make the odd thing here and there, I'll put those in the craft fairs just to kind of get those out, instead of like, and have my Etsy shop be more clean and like presentable, and I have like maybe a basket or something of like oddball items in a craft fair. And I also have one of those totes back there is full of stuff that my grandma gave me that she crocheted that I could try to sell. I haven't listed it anywhere yet, but I'm thinking that I could just bring that stuff to a craft fair. So I spent the last 6 months or so, I haven't had a full-time job since I left my old place. So I've had a lot of time, like I didn't have any job at all for about 2 or 3 months, and I don't know why I never got all this started. I could have had it done. I kept putting it off. I kept making excuses. And when God tells you to do something, you better do it, because like, it's all fallen into place now that I actually listened and am doing something about it, you know, instead of just, like, you can't just wait for stuff to like magically appear, magically happen. You have to put in the work if you're, you know, doing something that he tells you to do. Hopefully this will turn into something pretty long-term, sustainable. Maybe I can make a living off of it. I know quite a few people, not like personally, but I know of quite a few people that do this as their full-time job. Like, they'll sell things or they'll make patterns. I've made a few patterns here and there, which, if you didn't know about crochet, I mean, if you're more advanced along in it, you can make stuff without patterns all the time. But if you're just starting out, it's easier to follow a pattern. Like, it'll explain exactly how many stitches, how many of each kind of stitch, all that stuff to help you make the product, instead of having to like eyeball it or make it up as you go. And you can either put your patterns out for free, like I have some for free on my blog, or you can sell them like through Etsy or this online website called Ravelry. So I've done a few of each. I haven't put any on Etsy yet. I've put one for sale on Ravelry and then a couple free ones. So I'm hoping to get, like, maybe I'll put stuff up for free on my blog, and then have like $2 or $3 listed on Etsy. That way, if you want like a printable version, or, you know, without ads or whatever, you can get that. And then you earn AdSense or ad money from a blog, which I need to fix. That's my next project after I get all this stuff going, is fixing my website, because it's really boring and I haven't figured out how to use it yet. I don't really like, it's WordPress, but it's through like a hosting company, and I don't know, it's not like as customizable as I would like it to be. So I don't know if I want to go with Wix or Squarespace or something else. But I think, make one through Taylor Brands, which is where I got my logo. So on that website, basically, it helps you design. My mom told me about it. You design your logo. Well, it kind of helps you, like, it asks what your business is about, and then you like pick between different fonts that more suit you, and then it like designs it for you. You can change the colors or whatever. You can add like a little symbol on it or whatever. And then you can turn that into like your logos for your social media, and you can turn it into business cards, which I did. I did order some business cards. So yeah, I've been meaning to do that for a while. I just put it off. I'm glad I put it off until I decided, because I did have my business in 2 separate names. So I had a street crochet for my Etsy and Instagram, and then I had a cruelty free stitchery for my blog. So now it's all under one name. I have a new email address. I did have a street crochet as my email. Now I have cruelty free stitchery. So I've done a lot of work on it in the past couple days, and it's a lot of work to start a business. Like, it's not just you make stuff and start selling it. You have to, have inventory and keep track of all your expenses and all that kind of stuff. And also how I paid for all that. So yarn is expensive, and I, needed to pay for, because Taylor Brands, it's like $100 or so. Actually, I got a coupon code, but it was still like almost $100 to do that. And then you got to pay for the business cards, and I'm going to pay for like QuickBooks and a whole bunch of other stuff. And how that happened, I think this was happened on purpose. Well, it had to, because God told me to do this, so of course it happened on purpose. But basically what happened was, a couple months ago, when I moved out of my apartment in Maryland, I had 6 months left on my lease, and I couldn't get out of it. So I had to keep paying it, and I was late several months because, like I said earlier, I didn't have a job, like a full-time job. So I made, with my savings that I had, I made a couple months payment, but then after that I was just late, and they could have sent me to collections at any point. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do, because, the lease ended at the end of, the lease ends at the end of March, but I found out later that a new tenant moved in the middle of March, so that kind of absolved me from the last half of the rent for March, which is like $300. But I don't know, I'm gonna pay this. I don't want to, I did not have the money up front to pay the rest of it off, just the ones sent me to collections, because if you can avoid being sent to collections, do it, because it's gonna wreck your credit. I almost let them, because I was like, I don't know, I'm not going to be able to pay this. There is no way possible. And one day it just popped into my head. I was like, why don't you just go to the bank and apply for a loan? Maybe you can, which I kind of needed one anyways, because I don't have that much experience built up on my credit. You have to have a certain number of accounts open and paid off loans or credit cards in your name to build your credit score, which I only had at the time one credit card and my student loan. So my credit score was good, but it wasn't as good as it could be, because I didn't have very many accounts. So I was like, okay, I'll just go to the bank, I'll apply for a loan, just enough to pay for the apartment. And I got turned down for the loan because I didn't have enough accounts, ironically. So the girl at the bank, or lady I should say, lady at the bank was like, we can apply you for this other credit card, 0% interest for 15 months or whatever it was. It's that's great. I had one from them before. It was 0% for a while, and I exceeded that. Now I'm paying interest, which stinks. But I was like, okay, I'll do that. I'll just divide out. If I get the proof for it, I'll divide out how much I had to pay each month, because it's going to be significantly less payment each month than I was paying, for the apartment. So okay, I'll just divide that by 15, however much I pay, I divide it by 15 to get, make sure that it's paid off before the interest starts kicking in. So, and then that would build my credit by paying it off and keeping the balance below 30%, which is what you're supposed to do. So I got approved for that, and with credit cards, you don't really request a certain amount. They just kind of give you, whatever they think you can handle. And I guess since I didn't have a housing payment, because I lived with my mom, they approved me for way more than I needed for the apartment. So, all this is kind of happening all at once, and yeah. So I paid off the apartment. I used that for basically the business expenses, and I finally got my last tax refund check. I was waiting for the state of Kentucky because they had to mail it to me. So I finally got that now. I got that the other day, and I also got a refund from the electric company for my old apartment for last month. And I'm going to take that and open a business checking account with that, and then put everything on that and start paying off my credit card. So everything just kind of all worked out. Like, I don't know, like, I know I probably should, like, I don't know. I want to say that I probably shouldn't have got the credit card, but it worked out in the end. And plus it'll build my credit because, like, you're supposed to have a minimum of 2 credit cards. So I know I have 2. But I'm trying not to use either of them unless it's like an emergency or whatever, or if like I'm booking a hotel or whatever, because you have to have a credit card to book a hotel now. Which I won't be anytime soon. But I'll have it if I need it. So there's what's going on. Moral of the story is if God tells you to do something, do it. And yeah, so I'm posting less. Hopefully I will post some on my other channel, which I need to change the name of because I think it's still Easter egg crochet. And plus I think that'll be better for me because I've been like racking my brain to get ideas for like makeup videos that I could do, and I'm still going to keep with my my monthly empties and no buy updates and all that kind of stuff, and project pan updates. And then I'll still do the Bible recaps, which I'm going to do. I'm going to film March's here in a second. I think that'll go up tomorrow. But that's not meaning that I'm, like, every week I'm only going to post 3. Like, if I have more stuff to post, I'm going to post more. But I've also kind of fallen off track with the 100 days of makeup because I haven't worn makeup in, like, the past 5 days or so. Because I had, like, out of nowhere, a huge, like, acne flare-up. It was, like, cystic spots. It was awful. And I, like, somehow got a cold sore. I've never had a cold sore in my life. And I got one on my lip. And I did not want to, like, I don't know if that's, like, infectious. I don't want to be, like, putting lipstick on or, like, getting makeup around it, so I just didn't wear any. So anyways, let me know if you have any suggestions for any future content or anything else that you'd like to see. Or let me know if you're interested in the crochet thing. I had my links in the description in previous videos, but it's all changed because I changed the name, so I'm going to update that and check that out if you're interested. And give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.